Welcome to KX News on the Go. I'm Amber French. We now have an update on a child endangerment and animal neglect case out of Stanley. Gabriella Mariner and Jeffrey Gettle were originally charged together with endangerment of child or vulnerable adult, animal neglect, and unlawful possession of drug paraphernalia, after police say 6 children were removed from their home. But one case has now concluded while the others continue. 34-year-old Mariner has now pleaded guilty to all 3 charges. She's been sentenced to 3 years of supervised probation along with fines and fees. Mariner was also ordered to serve 8 days in jail with credit for 7 already served. Under North Dakota law, her felony convictions will be deemed misdemeanors if she successfully completes probation. Meanwhile, her co-defendant, 35-year-old Gettle, is still fighting his charges. Gettle has pleaded not guilty to his pretrial conference, now being pushed back for the second time, and is scheduled in October 9th. Court records show both were arrested back in February, where officers found 6 children ranging from 7 months to 17 years living in dangerous conditions along with multiple neglected dogs. Investigators say 1 puppy has been shot and killed, and officers have recovered meth and needles inside their home. Child Protective Services removed the children and is placing them in safe homes. One local nursing program is being recognized as one of the top 3 in the state. The Dakota College of Botano nursing program is ranked number 3 in North Dakota, according to registerednursing.org 10th annual rankings. The achievements make DCB's program the highest ranked 2-year program in the entire state. Their program offers classes for practical nursing certification and an associate's in applied science and nursing, both of which provided students with hands-on experience in a short time. The assistant dean for the nursing health professions for DCB says their program allows students to get high-quality education while also having a faster transition into healthcare workforce, ultimately allowing them to get ahead of the nursing shortage.
Gets them ready out there to be in practice as a nurse. We work with, again, a lot of our clinical partners, so then maybe they have some employees that want to join into our program. Also, to help with the shortage, we have increased our capacity at our Minot location because we do have a location here in Botano, Minot, and Valley City. Increasing the capacity then will help us get more nurses out there in the workforce.
Last year, Dakota College of Botano nursing program saw a 100% graduation rate when it came to their LPN and RN students. There's a new scam circulating around the Dickinson area. In a letter requesting large payments, sometimes as high as $4,000, like you see here, for supposed application and filing fees, zoning reviews, and administrative services. The invoices even include forged names of city staff and appear to be official. But according to the city and Dickinson PD, these are not legit, and anyone who gets one of these is being urged not to send money. City officials are emphasizing that Dickinson does not issue invoices like these on email. All legitimate payments are directly made through the city's online portal at the time of someone's application submission, and that no additional fees are requested after that. Vanessa?
Good Friday morning, everyone. Of course, we are still seeing a bit of an active pattern on the radar. And of course, this one storm in particular I've been watching for you, thankfully showing active signs of weakening, right crossing over Lake Sakakawea at this point in time. Mandaree, you've certainly seen quite a bit of those heavier bands of rainfall in the last hour or so. Down to the south of Newtown and Parshall, where we're seeing that stripe of some heavier bands of rain even closer to Makoti. But regardless, this has kept temperatures into the 60s and yes, even some 50s on the map. In some of the spots that are particularly the warmest on the map, they are the coldest on the map here, sitting closer to those low to mid 50s in the Wolf Point area. Now, despite all of this, the 80s continue to hang on by a thread here, getting closer to the mid 80s down towards southeastern portions of the state, up into the 70s, up towards the far north there. As far as continued rain chances are concerned going into today, most of it should be out of here once we get past the point of the morning commute and thereon after. However, the clouds are likely going to stay in place here, even going past the lunchtime hours. Now, in particular, once we approach closer to the late evening hours, this specific storm in particular could move closer up to the north and east based on the latest guidance. Now, as we get closer to the late afternoon and into the early evening, areas to the far north and west could see a little bit of an isolated storm or two. Really, the main event comes into play once we get past midnight here. Notice areas to the south of I-94 here going to likely see some strong storm development. Now, this is certainly not the end-all be-all in terms of where exactly this will be located, but just be mindful if you're to the south of I-94, going to get woken up by some rumbles of thunder here. Morning going to be kind of more widespread rain, even some isolated storms up closer to the Magic City to the north of Highway 2 there, and even down to the south of I-94, we're still seeing more of those storms moving through. As far as the rainfall potential is concerned here, this is the latest model guidance taking you into Sunday. And this is just one specific computer model run in particular here. But you can see right along Highway 83 and specifically speaking to the west of that, we could see more of those higher rainfall totals. So as we take a look at Williston's next 5 here, staying into the 80s for today, down into the 70s going into the weekend, possible return to the 80s for early next week. And as we take a look at Dickinson's next 5, into the 80s for today, lower 70s for the weekend, warming back up early next week. And taking a look at Minot's next several days, 80s for today will be into the 70s going into the weekend with those increased chances for showers and storms here on the map. Possible we could get back into those lower 70s, feeling a bit more like fall by the mid to late portions of next week. And finally, taking a look at Bismarck's next several days. Yes, we've got the 80s on the docket for today, cooling back down as we approach the point of the weekend into the mid to upper 70s though, so right near average for this time of year. As we get closer to early next week, signs pointing towards a little bit of a drier pattern here. Overall, we could get back into those 80s, but fortunately not looking to stick around for much longer beyond that. Again, that average high for this time of year typically sits into the mid 70s. We're going to likely be far from that into the lower 70s as we approach closer to the end of next week. So maybe that we could see a return to actual fall-like temperatures by the end of next week, Amber.
Looks like almost the perfect temperature for me. For everyone here at KX News, I'm Amber French. Have a great weekend.